Item 7, new business. This is a very exciting topic that we'll be talking about pretty much every meeting for the rest of our time in this session, is the caucus process. This is maybe one of the most important things we do this year because we are bringing new folks in. We'll have a discussion only, and Commissioner Colstead will brief us on progress of his team.
Hi. There are two documents in your packet that we're going to talk about tonight. The 2016 caucus process we put together, submitted. It was sort of never followed. But I want to point out on page 3 of that, there's a little table that's up on the screen there. What we did is we created assigned helpers, I guess. So District 2 will run the caucuses for District 1. District 4 will do 3, etc. Then in 2 years, in 2020, when we do this again, those roles will reverse. So the idea is to get knowledgeable commissioners in and running these things. So that's something that all of you in even districts this year are going to be doing a lot of work here. And this is critically important, just for keeping this caucus thing. So let's make sure that that works, you understand what's there. Now, there's a second document, which is the 2018 part. And there's a lot of things there. I want to just jump right down to the responsibility. There's another table partway down, and it sort of brings a little description of what we expect, what we want to get from those in the odd districts, which are being reelected, or new people coming, and what's going on in the even districts, which are the facilitators basically for each one. So just in general, if we look at an overview there, we who are going to be elected, we can't really participate too much, but we can engage all of the neighborhoods that are in our districts. We can go out and recruit candidates and ask them to come out and run for things, and we can go out there and say, hey, get your butt in there on that caucus date and vote. The people in the even districts that go along with there is this coordination matrix, like I was showing you before. Work with the D1 commissioners from D2 to make sure that you're answering questions, you're getting the right people, you're being introduced to the right people. You also want to work with the council staff. So this is a great opportunity for anybody who wants to go a little further with government in here. So, for example, I'm in District 3, so John will be one of the people who's running my caucuses, but John should also be working with Raul Perales in terms of understanding what's there and pushing the council office to make things happen. Their participation is really critical, and it's going to help if we have everybody working on that. And then the third thing, if you got contacts for, is recruiting candidates. I know Jim Carter from District 6 has been recruiting for the replacement commissioners for this right now. And that's a key piece of what we want to do. We want to get qualified people in here on this. So going down to one more, before the caucus, we need to have a list of all of the qualified neighborhood groups that exist in each of the districts. Now, this is something you can work out with the council offices, and the qualifications are in that first document. A neighborhood group is defined by the city planning outreach policy, a group or organization that is representative of its specific neighborhood and whose primary purpose is the improvement of that neighborhood. So you don't have to be formally organized or meet regularly, anything. As long as there's a group there, then they can pick delegates and come vote. And it's critical that we have a list of them, because if people walk in the door at the caucus and we don't know who they are, you're either on the list of qualified delegates or you're not. Same thing before the caucuses, recruit volunteers to help work at the caucuses. These are the odd people. Publicity, get out the vote, and using Nextdoor. We don't have a lot of outreach tools yet, but Nextdoor is going to be one of the key things that we do. Back in the even districts again, you will be in charge of picking the caucus date and location. Now, you can do that in conjunction with the other district's office, because they're going to be a lot more savvy about things, but it's going to be incumbent on you in those districts, or in my case, John, is going to have to be the one that says it's going to be on such and such a date at this location at this time, and get all of the people there. Once that time is done, you're going to have to manage the plan to do it, fix any problems that come up, and update the procedures that go along. And recruit the volunteers that are going to staff it. It takes about 5 to 7 people to staff one of these things, and that'll be John's job for my district. I'm skipping the staff on all this, by the way. During the actual caucus, those of us who are where the caucus is being held in our district, we don't do anything. We can't be there to influence, we can do some little duties, ushering people in and out, but we have to stand back and keep our hands off of it so that there's no disturbance of things, there's no bad operation. The even district, John again in my case, will lead and staff that event. Then afterwards, basically, it'll be up to the odd districts to report what the results are. The even district should, go back and thank everybody, and then we will all gather for a postmortem after the thing and say, okay, what happened? Each one of these along the lines. Now, what I did, and this is all very preliminary, is I said, okay, District 3, which is mine, I'd like that to go first, for the only reason that I just know a lot of people, and I think I can help organize that one better. And I picked that would be in April. And then every 2 weeks or so, we would do additional, we do the next district's caucuses. Outreach. I'm hoping there's a whole section on outreach on here, and again, we don't have very many tools at our disposal. I'm really hoping that the Voice Ad Hoc will give us a 5-minute video so that beginning in January, toward the end of January, we can actually go to a meeting, run the video, which gives an overview of what the commission is, what it does, a little bit of history, and then answer questions. So that's something to be great by then. If we don't have it, if it can't be done by then, we'll just have to wing it. But that's a really important piece of it. And then my last item here is the ad hoc committee right now, I think, is just Terry and me. Is there anybody else on that? Oh, Jim is, I'm sorry, I knew that. Anybody else want to get on the ad hoc and help organize this thing? Olivia? Great. Anything else? Wonderful. Questions?
Sorry, Commissioner Samantha.
So you brought up a good question, and it's important, the outreach, we have access to next door, but we weren't authorized to use that, so it's a shame if we hit these windows and we couldn't use that. So I'm just bringing that up, I think we need to have that addressed when we can use next door as a tool. I mean, it's ready to go, we just haven't used it.
We haven't, do we have to get somebody's permission besides next door?
Well, I think that was the city attorney we were waiting for. It's functional, as you know,
Yeah.
you worked with me on it, it's functional and ready to go. It's by district or citywide, so it's ready to go, but we don't want to say anything until we're authorized.
I would think if we have trouble doing it, maybe what we can do is get the council office to do it. I mean, it is one of the better tools that we got. If we can't, it would be great if we could do it. But
It's set up under the neighborhood commission.
yeah, if it's a problem where they won't let us do it, it would be better to have the council office at least get the information out while we work on fixing the first problem.
Commissioner Navarro, then Commissioner Henry.
So I have a quick question. I know that the 3, is it 1 to 2, 2 to 3? So for example, if I'm in 6 and I want to help in 3, especially if we're short in commissioners for right now, can we do that? Is that allowed? And then we also have to be careful about how many people are gathered at the same time to keep that in the back of our minds as well. But I'd like to volunteer in 3, if that's okay.
Sure.
And then what are the Brown Act considerations? If we're there, you can ask the attorney, but if I may jump in, I think a big question for us is, I think we'd all like to participate in as many as we can. And
Frankly, I think we're going to require everybody to participate in every one of them.
we know what we're doing every weekend, well, 2 weekends in May and 2 weekends in June.
Yeah, every other weekend is
Every other weekend.
provisional schedule, yeah.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt, but do we want to
We'll find out on that.
put that in? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Commissioner Henry.
Yeah, Mr. Reed, I see issues that the subcommittee has is one with in regards to United Neighborhoods. And I'm kind of confused on what you're unclear about in your statement that you said, based on my paper that I gave at the retreat, exactly what I wanted to propose. Did you not get that?
I got it, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
When the Rules Committee allowed us to do the caucuses again, when they approved us using caucuses this year, what they said is they wanted UNSCC to be directly involved.
Well,
Now, hang on. UNSCC has been involved in every one of them, and it's mostly been in the body of Ken Podgorczyk, who's been the moderator at the thing. And I don't see any other duties, quite frankly, that UNSCC brings to the party that we don't already have. but any help we can get. So what this says here is we want to clarify, what did the Rules Committee mean when they said they wanted UNSCC to participate? It's just the ad hoc committee needs to answer that question.
Okay, I don't know if anybody's aware of this, but United Neighborhoods was not at the caucus where I got nominated or selected. Okay, so I'm unclear about the whole statement.
Who was your moderator? Wasn't it Ken Pogorzik?
No.
I don't know. D2 was the one I missed last time around.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that not all of them.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that when you say unclear, that you do have a copy of that paper, so, it'll be noted next time.
This isn't what UNSCC wants to do for us. This question here is, what did the Rules Committee say? What did they mean when they wanted it? To me, that's very unclear.
Okay, the way I understood this to be, the way you worded it, was for the committee. When they went down and they supported United Neighborhoods in that concept from the council meeting, I thought that's what you were referring to.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Additional comments?
Thank you.
Thank you, and this will be on the agenda for January.
I think it'll be on the agenda every month.
It's
Yeah.
on the agenda every month, but we're definitely putting it on January. Sorry, what is the process? So I wanted to grab a weekend, then I'll produce the District 7 event. I'm just getting so confused to propose that, or how would I?
Well, wait till the ad hoc committee sits down and goes through some of this stuff. We haven't been able to start this off until the day because of the 6-month window.
Yeah.
So we're just starting from scratch right now.
Excellent. Okay.
So I threw out some dates, let's go every other week, because I think every week is too hard on us.
Agreed.
I think my guess is, like, if you're going to be doing the D7 thing, when D7 actually has a meeting, I would suggest that we piggyback the caucus on the regular district meeting, because you got a lot of people already there for other reasons. We've done that in other years, but it'll vary from district to district. And when we get to District 9, they don't really have a group yet. We don't have to do 4 this year. So there's a lot of unanswered questions that the committee will have, I think, a much better handle on by the time we get here in January.
Now, as I say, District 1 has a meeting May 12th, Saturday. That's our D1 LP meeting, so just throwing it out there.
Great.